Hello and welcome to the Daily Forex Report for March 15th. We are looking at the US Japanese yen pair first. This pair created an inside bar, did close down. We are looking for it to continue its move to the downside, possibly going up to 82.38, possibly as low as 79.64. Look for some resistance around 81.50 and look for some support around 80.50. Now switching over to the Euro USD pair. This pair closed the gap finally during today's session, moved much lower but pulled up and closed higher overall. Look for it to potentially go even higher, although it has been moving sideways. If we get a break above this high, a close above this high, we will definitely see it go higher. Look for it to potentially go as high as 141.50, possibly as low as 137.78. Look for some resistance around 140.25 and look for some support around 138.50. Now looking at the pound US dollar pair, this pair closed down, had a very long tail on it, hit previous support and pulled up. We are looking for this pair to potentially go as high as 162.56, possibly as low as 159.03. Look for some resistance around 161.75 and look for some support around 159.75. Now the US Swiss, this pair broke through previous support, is moving lower. Look for it to potentially on a reversal go as high as 0.9302, possibly as low as 0.9047. Look for some resistance around 0.9225 and look for some support around 0.9125. All right, now as far as news announcements go, we have the pound releasing their jobless claims rate, or change rather, for February at 5:30 a.m. Eastern Time. Consensus on that is that it's dropped from 2.4K to 1.3K, which would be good news for the pound. Now, what am I looking for during this next session? Well, the U.S. Swiss has broken down to a new low, all-time low over the past, 40 years or so. Look for it to continue to the downside. We do have in the pound US dollar pair a swing trade opportunity that's been created here. Don't know if we'll get there. It is a good ways from the market. You can see here we are, to break it, we'd have to move 100 pips. Now, we've been having 100 or 200 pip days, so it's not unlikely that we will see it break again, but nonetheless, keep an eye on that one. The fact that it has to move so far just to break through the trend line is a little concerning, and then it hits possible another area of possible support about 15 pips below that. So if you wanted to try to grab a quick scalp out of this, you possibly could. We also have the makings of somewhat of a head and shoulders formation here, and a potential break of it, longer term trend line could mean that it's moving lower. Now the Euro USD, it did fill its gap. Of course, a break above this high would mean that this trend is starting to continue to the upside, so definitely keep an eye on if we break this high, and if so, where is it going to go from there. We're hitting an area of resistance around the 14,000 mark that has been tough to get through. We've gotten through it and then pulled back, gotten close to it, and we'll have to see if we punch through it or pull back again. Now, the Japanese yen, this pair is moving lower. It did form an inside bar. If you tag out the low there, you can look for it to drop even lower down to this area, potentially a little bit lower. Basically looking to grab about 15 pips, possibly down to 35 before we hit the very low area of support for this pair that has been the support for a very long time, or hasn't been broken in a very long time. So keep an eye on this particular pair. Could slide to the downside. Well, that about wraps us up for today. Until next time, this is Jason Fielder. Good trading.